Here's the problem with what LeBron James did. It's still disrespectful to the previous eras. And there's no call for it. And so when he does what he does on that level, that's him, passive aggressively yet again, finding a way to take shots because inherently he has a problem with himself being compared to dudes from previous eras because folks talk about him. They talk about what he would have been. For example, he's not my GOAT. He's Shannon's GOAT. He might be yours or somebody else. He's not mine. Why do I say that? Because the road to prosperity that he had to travel, I believe going up against the old guard like Jordan and them, they would have stopped him before he learned how to win. I'm not talking about LeBron once he learned how to win. I'm talking about the LeBron that was absent prior to that person that showed up.
Thank you! Whoa, more beef is coming out. Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, you name it. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Stephen A. Smith attacking LeBron James for disrespecting previous eras. Apparently, LeBron James said that Giannis Antetokounmpo would score 250 points in a game if he played in the 1970s. Of course, Stephen A. Smith took issue with what LeBron James said on First Take. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Is LeBron James right or wrong for attacking previous eras? You guys already know how I feel about both Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. I am no fan of those two guys whatsoever. I believe Stephen A. Smith is Stephen A. Myth. He's a piece of shit that knows nothing about sports, and he's an absolute fraud. As for LeBron James, I believe that he is incredibly inauthentic and that he says whatever it takes to get the money. In a way, Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are very similar to one another in the sense that they both sell out for money, and that's all they are loyal to. But to answer the question on whether or not LeBron James was right or wrong, I gotta say that LeBron James is wrong for attacking previous eras. You also think about how Michael Jordan had greater accomplishments in less amount of time. I know some people are going to say that LeBron James' longevity is impressive, and while it is impressive to an extent, it doesn't matter as much as what people think. If longevity mattered so much, then John Stockton should be mentioned as one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. Of course, nobody is going to say that because that's a ridiculous take. LeBron James is trying to enhance his own legacy by tearing down previous eras. If you can't boost up your own legacy, then why not go ahead and try to diminish other people's legacies in previous eras? You guys ever notice how LeBron James and his fanboys constantly have to tear down previous eras in order to boost up their own era? If you truly believe that you're the GOAT LeBron James, you don't have to tear down previous eras in order to boost up your own era. LeBron James is so insecure that he has to go out there and rip other people's eras just so he can make himself feel better. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo will not score 250 points in a game. It's absolutely ludicrous to even think about. I also want to show you guys this clip of LeBron James attacking Stephen A. Smith and calling him the Taylor Swift of sports media. That's essentially what he called Stephen A. I found his comments to be particularly interesting since he visited the Pat McAfee Show. Roll the film.
Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, on fire. You would be not to talk about
it. Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, it's, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Really, LeBron James? Stephen A. Smith doesn't have the right to attack you? Of course Stephen A. Smith should have the right to attack LeBron James. You may not like what Stephen A. Smith says about Bronny James, but Stephen A. Smith should always have the right to criticize Bronny James. Bronny James is a grown man. Bronny James should be subjected to criticism if it warrants for it. Stephen A. Smith, aka Stephen A. Myth, should have the right to share his opinion on Bronny James. I actually happen to agree with Stephen A. Smith's initial take about Bronny James. Obviously, he's been playing hot potato since then because he's a fraud. I also want to show you guys this clip of Stephen A. Smith responding to LeBron James visiting the Pat McAfee Show. Of course, Stephen A. Smith went Stephen A. Myth mode when talking about LeBron James. Roll the film.
Don't the truth matter? Because there's one person in this ordeal that's telling the truth, and it's me. I don't lie to y'all. His ass lies a lot. And there's a lot of shady stuff that he does. And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness and the two-facedness and smile in your face and dig you behind the back. I happen to know that about him, which is why I don't like him. And he don't like me. But it doesn't stop me from being fair and calling it like I see it. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. We ain't having Thanksgiving dinner together. What you bring your son up in there for? What you bring your family up in there before? You gonna go on Pat McAfee Show, talk about you gonna protect your house. What you talking about? Your son ain't at the house. He's at Crypto.com Arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown LA at the Crypto.com Arena. Where you put him.
You went live and said you pop niggas. You don't pop niggas. You went live and said you whoop niggas. You don't whoop niggas. You went live and said niggas know how you get down. Nobody know how you get down.
You piece of shit. You stand for nothing, and LeBron James was absolutely right to call you out for it, Stephen A. Smith. I may not agree with everything LeBron James says. In fact, I don't agree with a lot of what he says in general, but Stephen A. Smith has no moral ground. He also said LeBron James would have been attacked if LeBron James put hands on Stephen A. Smith. No, he wouldn't. Stephen A. Smith would do nothing. I bet if LeBron James put hands on Stephen A. Smith, he's going to beg and scream, "Stop! Please stop touching me. Let me go." And then he would basically cry in his house, and then he would try to grift off of that so he could make as much money as possible. He would not lay hands on LeBron James. Stephen A. Smith is a short man compared to LeBron James. That's why I call him Stephen A. Myth, because he likes to tell lies. But in the case of Stephen A. Smith attacking LeBron James for disrespecting previous eras, he actually has valid points, because Giannis Antetokounmpo would obviously not score 250 points in a game. He's using Giannis Antetokounmpo as a pawn for his narrative talk. That's why I don't really respect guys like LeBron James. I don't respect guys like Stephen A. Smith either. But hey, a dead clock is right twice a day. This is one of those instances. What LeBron James said was out of bounds. He should appreciate the past history of the NBA, not tear it down. So that is why LeBron James is wrong for attacking previous eras, as several great NBA players have come from past eras. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinStran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinStran and that Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinStran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.